Greetings, I'm Brother Dennis with Thicker Than Water Ministries. This little video sermon, I'm going to ask you a question. What kind of person are you in Christ? There's a little passage in the book of Acts, chapter 2, starts at verse 42, ends in verse 47. It's talking about the early church and how at the death and resurrection of Christ, there was a transition from temple worship to kind of this building of this community of believers, where the relationship with capital G, God, was merely and only a Jewish thing. Now sinners' lives are being touched, and the community is expanding to include all different kinds of people from all different walks of life. And the end of that passage is talking about the formation of the early church, and it says a curious thing there at the end in verse 47. It says this, that this community of believers found favor with all the people, and numbers were being added daily. People were coming that would be saved. And it kind of got me thinking, what kind of person are you in Christ? I think that it could definitely be argued that there is a Christian subculture. It has its own language, it has its own music, it has its own artwork, and it's this shared kind of subculture that really permeates Christianity. And I think really a lot of people, what happens is that it keeps a lot of people who see that culture and think to themselves, if I have to be a Christian and be that, it's not appealing to me. See, Jesus came to people and met them where they were. And my question is, why don't we? Why don't we do that anymore? What kind of people are you in your church? This is my wife and I and some friends of ours. Or different conversations are talking about we're looking for a church, and you can tell people make a decision if they're going to attend your church at the door before the sermon even starts. See, tribe is important. When a person walks into your church or meets you as a Christian person, in the back of their mind, is this a person I can hang out with? Is this a person I can relate to? You see, the early church had it together. This is very clearly in the scriptures. They found favor with all the people. So what are you advertising? First, as an individual, what kind of person are you in Christ? Are you a person that is saturated in Christian culture and so heavenly that you're of no earthly good? Are you a person who just shows love to the people around you and advertises a kind of Christianity that people say, wow, you know, if it's like that, maybe I can do it. And you have to be careful there, because the scriptures also tell us to be in the world but not of the world. And so there's a line there that can be crossed. But we really, as Christian people, need to start looking at the people around us, the kind of company we keep maybe, and the kind of person that we are, and ask, am I a friend of sinners like Jesus was? Am I a friend of sinners? Tribe's important. And when people come in, they meet you and they meet the people of your church, setting aside right now the fact that we're no longer temple-centered. If your focus for evangelism as a church is how many people can we get to come and sit here in church with us, that's not where it happens. The church, that's not where it happens. It happens outside. It's what the people outside of the community see about your Christian community. And if you're doing things right outside of church, then people are going to be drawn to it. That's what this passage in the Acts clearly says, that they found favor with all the people. They looked at this community, they looked how they interacted with each other, and they wanted to come into that. Look at your church. Look at the way you are, how people interact there. And in the eyes of a person who isn't a part of your community, and ask yourself, are we a community of people that others look in from the outside and say, you know, I think I want to be a part of that. This is easier said than done. It's something that really needs to be, attention needs to be paid to this. So that's all I have for you. Take a look at who you are as a person in Christ. Take a look at who your congregation, who you are as a congregation, from the view of the outsider. Are we a good tribe to each other? Are we a good tribe that people who are outsiders who really don't even know us, or have one extended family person here, and people come in and they see what's going on here? Do they say to themselves, "Wow, this is awesome. This is a community that I want to belong to"? And if not, make those changes. I love you. If nobody has said it to you yet today, I love you. God bless you. Please remember to look at ttwmtruth.com. There are video truths, other small video sermons on there, as well as written truths tab. Any question that you have concerning Christianity and the deeper things of Christianity, you can probably find an answer in those written truth tabs. In the written truth tab. That's all. God bless you. Go in peace to love and serve the Lord.